Whoa, here we are and live. Let me get my camera focused. There we go. Douglas, how are you?
What's going on?
We are live.
Good.
We are testing the new format for marketing at 30,000 feet. It's going to be a weekly podcast, weekly live show, weekly internet show, live internet show.
It'll be the internet show.
The internet show where we talk about marketing and aviation and the intersection of how businesses can grow. Basically, we're going to dissect things from a high level, bring on special guests, subject matter experts to talk about different strategies and tactics and boil it down to a low-level result so that way you can take it and start implementing in your business and actually start realizing results. Right, Doug?
100%. I'm excited to be your co-pilot. And one of the things that I was most excited about, this stemmed from a conversation we had about your military experience and being battlefield ready. And when it came down to it at the end of the day, a lot of people were just missing the fundamentals of what was going on.
Yeah.
And we were trying to figure out what's the best way to help deliver this information to people, which ironically is going to lead into the topic for today, but we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah. So this is really just our test flight, no pun intended, of launching the weekly show. Again, we'll have all the information on what that's going to be entailing and on where to follow us and all that stuff. So, but the gist of it, again, we're going to cover news, information, kind of a little news segment we're going to entitle like the go around. We'll cover like the top 3 to 5 subjects that come up over the past week. And then we'll tee it up and take off with whoever our guest is. Again, we've got great industry experts, titans of industry when it comes to marketing, sales, and business. Really, really excited for the lineup, at least for season 1, that we're going to launch for you. But other than that, this is it. We're testing it live format. If you are in there, I know we've got the chat window open. This for the first one, we probably won't get much, but we do have people out there. Doug, you kind of alluded that's the subject of today's show, which ironically is kind of something we're doing right now, and we did a lot of over this whole COVID coronavirus thing, is
webinar fatigue.
Ugh.
And I 100% have to give credit to my wife because we were talking about masterminds and other events. I'm actually in a mastermind today, but just stepped out to do this real quick. But how exhausting it is to be in front of the cameras all day. It feels like, honestly, most of life is just bouncing from one Zoom meeting to the next, whether to a Google Hangout, back to another webinar meeting. And even on weekends, like you're trying to virtually hang out with friends through whatever. I can't remember the social app, but like
house
life
party
is now lived in front of a screen that's about 12 inches in front of your face. And it's just exhausting.
Oh, it is.
And I think everyone's just ready to get back to that human interaction. Mm-hmm. And the reason I wanted to talk about it today was I think so many people reach out on LinkedIn with this, hey, let's book a call. Right now, the last thing I want to do is add another Zoom call to my agenda. I'm sick of being in front of it. Other than like shooting fun stuff like this and getting to provide value, we just need to figure out, like, if you're trying to interact with people in your market, you need to figure out how to do it in small bite-size increments and let them raise their hand. And I know a lot of people have given the analogy about dating, but honestly, it feels like my LinkedIn box is just full of people trying to take me out for a date, and I don't even know who they are. It's creepy.
It's so bad. Well, then on top of that, like, no mutual connections, no first or secondary connections. Some of them aren't even in the right industry. It's just these canned spammed messages that come out, says, hey, so-and-so saw your profile, would love to connect. Just grab a time on my calendar. It's like, yeah, like you mentioned, it's like dating. You don't just walk up to somebody and say, hey, you want to get married? Basically that's what you're asking for. You're not even asking, what I like, what my interests are. And people, honestly, that's why they wonder why none of their online marketing works. And honestly, it's probably because of the approach, because every time everybody has gone right away, right in for the kill and try to get an appointment set or try to sell you something right out the bat. And again, they don't know you from Joe right now. So.
But still, like, the process is not that hard. Like, if you really want to engage with people, and we talked about this in our mastermind group, I think it was just this week it came up again, was if you want to figure out how to connect with somebody, just be a human. Be like a legitimate, normal human and have those interactions. Like if you saw a post that somebody just had that you liked, and you're trying to figure out how can I connect with this person, just go on to either their LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, just say, hey, I really love this post.
Yeah.
And then when you're on LinkedIn, you do the connections like, hey, I really love the post that you
Yeah.
did. I'd like more of it to show up in my feed. So I thought I'd connect with you.
Yeah.
That's an actual, really legitimate interaction.
That is legit.
And then
And it's authentic.
Oh, it's legit. It's legit. But every time I do that, here's the thing that bugs me more than anything is I get someone who did step one right, like the connection request, and instantly I think it's timed. It's like 30 minutes later. It's like, hey, I looked at your website and I thought blah, blah, blah. Actually, this week I had someone say, hey, I looked at your portfolio of website designs and thought it was good. Are you looking for an outsourced provider? I don't even have a portfolio page on my website.
Yeah.
Like I was like, yeah, this is so automated. Instantly, just block the person, remove them. But
I like to troll them back and be like, do you know what I do? Because they're trying to pitch and sell the exact same services that I do. So it's like, do you even know what we do?
Those are the best. I love that. Yeah, I get a lot of digital strategy people contacting me. I'm like, yeah, let's chat.
Let's chat. But yeah, you're right. I mean, people are, I think just naturally they don't like being in front of the camera. There's something about being in the camera. You know, I was just on a webinar with NBAA talking about, you know, video content, and that's how we are connecting. Because again, we crave that human connection, right? Like I don't care if it's B2B, B2C, you know, it's all human to human. And sorry, my autofocus on my camera keeps tweaking, but it's all human to human. Because what we fail to realize is that even your B2B customers, you know, they're still consumers themselves, right? We're programmed a certain way to gather information, to process, to gain trust, and to really want to work with a brand. And that's where real relationships happen, is when you build trust and there's authority and there's a familiarity with you. You know, that is in a sense, again, the core of what sales and relationship building is. And this is just a different medium, because who knows, for the foreseeable future, events might not be the same, may never return to the way they were. We don't know what that looks like in the future. We don't know if there's another pandemic, second wave, whatever it is. I mean, this honestly, everybody's attached at the hip to the phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no escaping the fact that this is beyond a trend. I mean, this is the way to make sure that you're staying in front of customers. And, you know, again, like you said, webinars and everything, like, yeah, the last thing you want to do is add another video appointment when you've already been in front of the camera, you've been on the screens, you're tired of whatever. But yeah, that's our tip for the day, I guess, is be authentic when you're connected with people on LinkedIn.
Yeah, just be human. It's funny, like you hear the saying all the time, like put yourself in your customer's shoes.
Yep.
And I don't think enough people take that to heart. Like honestly, if I got a LinkedIn message that somebody watches, I swear, if you watch this and you send this, I will get on call with you. But if somebody sent a message and simply said, I really liked your content, I'm sure you're sick of being in front of Zoom calls, you probably just don't want to be on another one, and then offer me something. It's like, I'd love to just shoot a quick video for you. What's the biggest thing you're struggling with? Or, you know, what are you looking for? And then just give me that value. People say whether it's value in advance or not, just like give me that one win. And then when you give me that asset, I will be obliged. I will be entitled to the reciprocity to give back to you.
Ooh,
but so many people are just like, well, let's hop on a call and just see, and I'll troubleshoot. I hate that. I don't have time for it. But if they had that little bit of empathy and actually put themselves in my shoes, I'd be like, you know what, they do get me. They took the time to do this. I'll take the time to listen.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, when you know, the other thing about connecting people on LinkedIn, maybe not so much on LinkedIn, but like with Facebook or any other platform, leaving video responses in the comment thread has actually been huge, because again, you see a long thread of comments and, you know, generic replies. And if you really want to stand out, like if you're prospecting, again, you're trying to nurture leads, drop a video comment in there. Because again, now people can see you, they can put a name to a face. Yeah. And honestly, like so much of your nonverbal communication comes through on that camera. And again, that's where people feel like they really are connecting to you. They really feel like they know you. And they're probably going to be more obliged to, again, if you reach out with a follow-up to say, hey, again, I'd love to schedule time to chat with you about X, Y, and Z, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Cool.
So what do we have next week? Do we have it lined up yet?
Ooh.
Oh, the big launch?
Nothing like, well, I want to keep it under wraps because I want to make sure that we have everything absolutely kind of buttoned up, ready to go. But this is just a little teaser of what to expect for the show. Again, I'll put in the comments. We'll start linking that. You'll probably start seeing some promo material around that coming soon. But we're really excited to bring this to you because, one, it's just desperately needed, I believe, because, you know, again, the world's not going to go back to the way it was as much as we want it to. And the only way I think to future-proof your business is to obviously get with the times, because in times of crisis, whatever, everybody's an innovator. Everybody's pivoting quickly. Everybody's trying to adapt as quickly as they can, because if you don't, your competition's going to leave you behind and the market's going to eat you up. You know, you don't have the luxury of sitting back and waiting for your leaders of industry to kind of take the reins, see if it works, you know, put your toe in it. Then once it goes full scale, you're like, okay, it's safe now. You don't have that luxury anymore in business. And that's really why we're doing this. There's so many things that I think that people need to do fundamentally wise to get them beyond just table stakes, because I don't think anybody's in business to just limp in or get by, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So this is it's really exciting. Little nervous, but I think we'll get better at it. We'll add more production value as we go through this. But other than that, follow us right now on our handles below right here. Boop, there. And Doug, you could point to yours, but your left, my right. There you go. So you follow us there. Again, you'll get all the updates and we'll push live soon. So hopefully you guys found this fun. Leave a comment below if you want some subjects you want us to talk about in the future. Other than that, we look forward to seeing you next week and every week thereafter. Good day, people.
Have an awesome weekend, everybody. See ya.